Happy Friday, Bookie Crushers! Thank you for watching this MLB video presenting some betting picks. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada, and in this video I would like to present 5 picks in Major League Baseball. Well, all good things must come to an end, and yesterday for the first time we lost a Lobster Bet. So that means our record with the Lobster Bets are 8-1. For those of you who have not been watching recently, a Lobster Bet is the best play across all sports. Now, yesterday we took Sean Burke, the starting pitcher for the Chicago White Sox, to record under 4.5 strikeouts, and he finished with a total of 5. So, we still own an 8-1 record, and if you were following my NFL picks, remember that the Lobster Bets, which represented the best value wager every single week, posted a 7-2 record. So that means that overall we have accumulated 15 wins versus 3 losses so far. Alright, now let's go back to baseball, and today we have a scoring drought alert. This is one of my top 3 betting systems out of the 19 I have developed in Major League Baseball, and let's review its rules quickly. Fade the road team if they lost their past 2 games by scoring 2 runs or less in each of those defeats, and if their money line today is greater than plus 150. If you are more familiar with decimal odds, that means that the money line is greater than 2.5. Now, this betting system so far this year has posted an 11-1 record. Now, last season we obtained a 31-14 record, and the year before we posted a 36-6 record. And all in all, we presented a ROI around plus 20%. I know we are betting big home favorites, which is not exciting, but it is picking its spots very wisely, as you can see from those results. Now let's focus on the Tampa Bay Rays for a minute. If you take a look at their recent schedule, well, so today they are the visiting club. They lost their past 2 games by scoring 0 and 2 runs respectively, and their money line is indeed bigger than plus 150. So for all of these reasons, pick number 1 recommends to go against the Rays, and that's why we're taking the Yankees to win straight up. At the time that I posted the play at mjpicks.com, the best line available was minus 205 with BetRivers, Bally, Unibet, and Leo Vegas sportsbooks. And that's the same as 1.49 in decimal format, by the way. Alright, so Max Fried takes the mound for the Yankees, so that's obviously good news for us. In 3 career starts against the Rays, he owns a perfect 3-0 record, and he has posted an eye-popping 0.42 ERA. Can you believe this? So he really loves playing against this opponent. In 2025, he has been dominant, as shown by his 5-0 record, and he has not given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his 6 starts. Sorry. Now his counterpart would be Ryan Pepiot, who starts for Tampa. He got off to a bad start to the season with a 4.91 ERA through 4 outings. He has shown some signs of improvement lately, but his numbers remain underwhelming. So it does not bode well when you are about to face a strong batting lineup like the Yankees. So for all of these reasons, I absolutely love pick number 1, which is the Yankees. Again, I know it's not exciting to bet such low odds, but to me, profit is profit. If you offer me to bet something at minus 200 odds when it has an 80% chance of winning, well, I'm going to make that bet every single time because that's a good value wager. At minus 200 odds, you will break even if you win 66.7% of your bets. So if the event in question has a probability of winning which is greater than this, then you must do it. And in this case, I feel like the Yankees do have much more than a 67% chance of winning this match. So I'm going to hammer this line. Now there's no way I can stay away from a pick that is recommended by the scoring drought betting strategy that has performed so well. All right, my second pick today fits under a betting system called the stingy pitchers. By the way, this betting angle is rated 4 stars out of 5, so that means it is among my best betting strategies. And so far in 2025, it has recorded 6 wins and 2 losses, so it has done very well. Let's take a look at its rules and let's see if you can guess which team it recommends betting. It suggests fading the road team if they won their past 2 games by allowing either 0 or 1 run in each of those wins, and if their money line today is smaller than plus 150. So you don't want to fade a big underdog. That's basically what this rule says. All right, if you take a look at the Oakland A's schedule, over there. So today they are the visiting club, and they did win their last 2 games by allowing a maximum of 1 run in each of those victories. In fact, they won 7-1 in Texas on April 30th before shutting out the Rangers 3-0 the next day. So by following those rules, and if you take into account what has happened in the past, well, historical data suggests that such teams tend to lose their next match. So that's why my second pick is to go against the A's, and therefore I'm taking the Marlins to pull off the upset at plus 125 odds. You can see a screenshot taken from ESPN Bet Sportsbook, which had the best line about an hour ago. I do have some other reasons. Well, this looks like a counterintuitive bet since the A's are flying high after winning 7 of their past 9 contests. And meanwhile, the Marlins are sinking fast after enduring an ugly 5-game losing slide these days. But those 5 defeats by Miami occurred at Los Angeles against the Dodgers and also at Seattle against the Mariners. So we are talking about 2 very good clubs, so there's nothing to be ashamed of. And meanwhile, the A's, like I said, they are going through a good stretch, but they played at home against the Rangers, at home against the White Sox, and on the road against the Rangers. So those are not world beaters at all. So that's why my second pick is I think we have some good value on the Marlins as home underdogs in this spot. Up next, I'm going to make use of another of my strongest betting systems. This is great that today we have several picks that are supported by some of my very best betting strategies. This time we're talking about the system called the Big Upset number 2. Its rules are as follows. Fade any team that meets the following 3 criteria. Number 1, they lost their previous game to a team whose money line was greater than plus 150. Number 2, facing a different opponent. Number 3, is an underdog today. So by following those rules, the pick in question is the Dodgers to win outright at Atlanta against the Braves. And here is why. Atlanta's last match was at Colorado, a game in which the Rockies money line was plus 222, which is the same as 3.22 in decimal format. So that is clearly a big upset. So the Braves were the victim of a big upset. We also require that they are an underdog today, and that's the case. And you also want the team in question to be facing a different opponent. Again, that's the case. The Braves are no longer playing against the Rockies. They are now squaring off against LA. So by following those rules, we must fade Atlanta, and that's why I'm taking the Dodgers in this spot. And by the way, this betting strategy is quite picky. It makes quite a few plays every year. On average, it makes about 20 bets. So when we have one qualifying play, I like to hammer it. I want to take advantage of it. And by the way, in 2025, we have had 2 recommended plays according to the Big Upset number 2 strategy, and both plays have been winner. Alright, so now the Braves, they were swept, the Dodgers swept the Braves earlier this year, outscoring them 15-7. Now Yamamoto is starting for the Dodgers, and he's been one of the best pitchers in the National League. The teams have yet to figure him out. He lasted at least 5 innings in each of his 6 starts this year, and he has not allowed more than 3 runs in any of his 6 outings this season. On the other side, we have Grant Holmes starting for the Braves. He opened the season with 3 good starts out of 5 before faltering big time in Arizona a few days ago. In that game, in 5 2/3 innings, he squandered 6 earned runs. And that included 3 long balls. So to me, that might have shaken his confidence. So let's roll with the Dodgers to win easily against the Braves today. I know Atlanta has been red hot recently. In fact, we took them on a couple of occasions this week. But still, I feel like the Dodgers will halt Atlanta's train. My 4th pick concerns the Tigers-Angels game. And in this case, here's what I like. The Tigers team total to go under 4.5 runs. In other words, I am banking on the fact that Detroit will score a maximum of 4 runs today. Well, when an elite starting pitcher takes the mound, it often tends to raise the game of the opposing hurler. In this case, Tarik Skubal will be handed the ball by his manager, and he is squaring off against Jose Soriano. Now, the young righty from the Angels has some potential for sure. He has shown it by posting the following ERA in the prior 2 seasons: 3.64 and 3.42, which is quite good. Now, he has not been having a great start in the 2025 campaign, but to me, he will turn things around, and I believe it all starts today. He knows he is facing an elite starting pitcher in Tarik Skubal. He must be at his best. He will be he will be very focused. So I feel like it could be a low-scoring affair. So you could also bet the under in this game. I think the total is 7.5. But personally, I prefer to bank on the fact that the Tigers will score a maximum of 4 runs today. And that's my 4th pick for May 2nd. And now my last play concerns the last game on the slate of 15 games, the Rockies against the Giants. And I am going to go with the Giants run line. So the Giants minus 1.5, which means I am expecting them to win by a margin of at least 2 runs. Now the Rockies left the Mile High City and headed to the Bay Area to play the Giants at the picturesque Oracle Park. I personally had a chance to visit that stadium when I celebrated my 40th birthday in San Francisco, and it is indeed a beautiful stadium, and I really enjoyed my time in San Francisco. That was a few years ago. Now, Colorado is coming off their lone 2-game winning streak of the season, but they remain the worst team in Major League Baseball. they own a 2-14 record away from Coors Field, and everyone knows that they've been struggling a lot on the road in recent years. Their current run differential is minus 76, and that is 25 runs worse than the second worst team in Major League Baseball. So they are by far the worst club. Now to me, San Francisco will rebound in a big way after getting their pants pulled down against the weakest team in baseball yesterday. Also, it's good to know that the Giants are undefeated this season when Robbie Ray gets the start, and that's the case today. So there you go. Here are my 5 picks for today. So we have the Yankees to win straight up because of the famous scoring drought system that has been super lucrative to us. I'm also taking the Marlins to pull off the upset at home against the A's. I'm taking the Dodgers against the Braves because of the big upset number 2 betting strategy that has been quite lucrative as well. I also like Detroit to score a maximum of 4 runs in LA. And finally, the Giants with the minus 1.5 run line. And of course, I want to end this video by thanking you very much. And if you have not done it already, could you hit the subscribe button? I don't know many sports handicappers who hold a PhD in statistics and who have also been crushing online sportsbooks since 1999. In fact, as told by many media in 2022, I quit my full-time job after amassing more than $1 million with my sports bets. So now I devote my entire time to sports betting, and my number 1 goal is to grow your bankroll. So I hope you will be following my betting journey in baseball and in other leagues. Thank you very much. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada. I wish you a great weekend. I'll see you again on Monday.